Hey folks, Queen Roadkill Candy here, and today we're doing a box opening of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, so 2nd edition cards. It's a giant box of, like, collectible cards, only, like, you can actually use them for, like, D&D and stuff, which is pretty cool. They had these at the thrift store before the whole virus breakout thing happened. And I've been meaning to get around to doing these. And since basically, I don't know about your town, but my city's completely basically closed down, excluding essential stuff. So, yeah, let's get this done and show this stuff. It's actually really hard to get the cards out of here. I'm gonna do this because I feel like I'm gonna damage them if I try and pull them out because they're just so neatly in there. So these ones are from 91, as you saw in the box. We're going to go through them. I'm not going to read them because there's like 750 cards in here. The thrift shop had a bunch to choose from, but we chose the older set because just thought it'd be cool. Okay, so it shows up here. It's from Dragonlance, and then when you flip it over, you can see that it has all the information. So, C, D, W, C, you got all that there. So you can use these as characters in your campaigns to play as, which is why I bought this. Because usually my friends, when I DM, don't like to create characters. They just want to get in and play a game. So I usually use pre-made characters for them. I usually just grab cards. I have several different cards. I have like monster cards that I usually use, but this is going to be like actual people and characters and stuff in here. Like, if you remember, I think it was 3.0 edition. They had it so that you could buy like figures with characters. Or was that 4.0? No, it was 3. It was the one everyone hated. That's the one that had the cards. But I would just take the cards. Yeah, I know the stats are slightly off. Whatever. And use them for other games when I played with people. And this is gorgeous old, like, fantasy style art. Where, like, I swear the dresses themselves have magical powers. It's so flowing. And, like, I just love it so much, the old style art. But, you know, we kind of get set in whatever, I would say, style that you grow up with. Like, I'm open to modern things, don't get me wrong, but we always have a special nostalgic place for, that's cool, it's an orc. Well, I know Boca's going to want to be using that. You know, for particular styles. Again, I love how at the top shows us what set this is from. Got little icons here and everything. They had more sets there. They were $50. They had something like 4 or 5 sets. At $50 a pop, we just bought one, obviously. I think it was either $40 or $50. I'm pretty sure it was 50 though. And like, I really like them, but I'm not going to buy that many because one, I don't have enough room for like boxes and boxes and boxes of cards, as much as I love them. And then 2, that's expensive. And then 3 is I don't think I'd actually need to use that many. Like, I know, you know, one day I might need them, and I might have a better spot, you know, for them. But at this time, it just kind of seemed like excess clutter. You know, I might have made room if they were cheaper because, like, you know, just throw something out, but for that price, no. They're absolutely beautiful though. They're nice and thick. They're the old style cardboard. They're still a little bit bendy and everything, but they're fantastic quality. So the original price of these were $24.95 American. So basically, let's just call it $25. You know, this is 91, so probably would have been $26 here in Canada. So not, you know, not terribly crazy. They have made newer versions of like cards that you can just buy, but they're not quite as beautiful. definitely. Is this a... This is a rogue guy, it looks like. That's cool. He's got, like, that, hairband makeup. Let's double check and see if it's Katrina. No, I guess it's a guy. I thought it was a hairband. I mean, a girl. I thought it was a hairband guy. Let's just move this slightly over, because otherwise you're not going to be able to fully, like, read it when I flip the cards over. So I want you to be able to see the front and read the back. Like I said, there are so many cards we gotta go through, so I'm sorry I can't go through and read all the text. Like, a 60 card... Oh, hey, this is the guy that's on, like, the dragon that's on everything with D&D. But back to what I was saying, a 60 card deck is like 24 to 25 minutes, right? This is 750. No one's going to want to watch it for that long. I could split up the video into chunks, but that's, like, I don't like watching them that way personally when I'm the one watching videos. And maybe you're different than me, maybe not, but I don't like watching them that way, so I don't put them out like that, even though YouTube suggests that's a good idea. Why don't you make a video and continue it so your viewers come back? It's like, no, everyone's going to just look at the title and see it's one of something and be like, no, I'm out. I don't care. I mean, I know that's what I do personally. What is this? Ring of Fire Resistant. So I've probably said this to you guys before, or at least I have in my past D&D videos, is I usually, with mine, I suggest going to a dollar store, picking up like the little trunks they have. They have like little gem things you can buy and all that, and you can use those for your campaign. So it just feels a little more real for the people. Like, I know there's some people, they're like, it's pen and paper, you don't need all that extra stuff, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, too bad. I'm a drama kid. I got my certificate in high school for performing arts. Too frickin' bad. If I can go and get a prop for my game, you better bet that I am putting a prop in my game. And no one's going to tell me any different. So... a lot of people like to do that. I usually homebrew, though, because I don't play with... like, I use this, but I might... like, I will bring things from across games that should be in the universes sometimes, because, man, one of my friends, he is terrible at D&D, and the whole party, almost every time, dies because of him. All the time, he gets the party in trouble. And so one of our friends who's actually played D&D, I'm like, oh, you killed a monster and you got something that's stupidly overpowered, but it's still not making up for the fact of how bad our friend is at D&D. So, like, I do things like that to balance the game. You gotta know your players. I know some people think, you know, it's, I roll good when I'm a monster. So, first off, it's not fair. Everyone can use anyone's dice. I usually have at least one pair in the back of the book, so I don't have to keep grabbing things so they don't know what's going on. But yeah, yeah, you just have to do that, because it's like a ping pong match, right? When you play, D&D, that's the only way to suggest it, or tennis, or one of those games where, although, you know, it's competitive, whatever, but you're actually both trying to keep the game going. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he rolls ones, and he was convinced the dice was rigged, so we gave him new dice, because I bring like a pile of dice, and I put them on the middle of the table, and like, choose whatever you want. Just go ahead, you know, if it makes you feel better, swap out dice, the same way you do with, like, when you play Smash Brothers with the controller. Oh, it's a controller, just like when I play Smash Brothers. I have, like, a pile of controllers on the side of the room. Go ahead and switch your controllers. You know, whatever you need, go ahead and use it. When I play, and the guy, he went and he tried, like, I have a big pile of dice, so I think he tried, like, 5 or 10 different dice, and he kept rolling ones. That is, like, a statistical anomaly. But, hey, there we go. No one else was rolling ones. Just him. Just him. And I think the highest he rolled that night was, like, a 5, which doesn't make sense. And, again, he was switching dice just in case, like... because when you have dice, they can get damaged. So just because you bought it and they are working properly. They do get gashes and smashes and different things like that. And some of them, you know, they say they're a good brand, they're expensive and they're pretty, but they don't roll right. That's another thing, guys. When you play, don't get subdued by the price point, because some of the ones that are really expensive don't. Like, there are people that actually go in, like some brands that pride themselves on actually checking their lots of dice and things. I think it's called checks or something like that. But some of the checks dice are so boring and lame, right? So, like, you know, you'll try other brands, and some brands are good, some brands are cheaper than it, and they work perfectly fine. There's some Yahtzee dice they sell at the dollar store. Those things work amazing. I know that those are 6-sided and they're not, you know, 20-sided. But, you know, same kind of goes for that. It's just there's a lot less brands you can buy. With all your starter kits with D&D, it comes with a batch. Everyone says they're terrible. I don't know how terrible they are. I always roll 20s on them. I have 2 sets because I have the 3.0 one. Or was it? Yeah, 3.0. Or the re-released red box or whatever one. Back from like 2010 or whatever. And then I have the 4.0. And I have the black dice in both of them. And I don't know what people are talking about. Because I roll 20s all the time. And I've let other people roll them. And they're rolling 1s. So, I don't know. Maybe the dice just like me and don't like you. But... so as you can see, as we're going through these, there is some items mixed in here, different things like that. But I love how it has all the stats and everything, and there's a little description here, alignments, everything about the stuff. You can use these for your games, obviously. Yeah, equipment, you know, it's great. Not all of these can be used, like some of these... like, let's see, look at this one. Remarkable size, his deck 16 gives him. So this is more of a description, where some of the other ones we saw actually had like a full list of their, like, you know, stats and everything. But if you look right here, it's going to tell you that this is an item card. So, you know, you're going to know that it's slightly different than some of the other ones that we've come across. And then... flipping this over, like this guy, we saw he had a knight on the corner there, and then his equipment's here, chaotic good, movement's 12, so this actually has like some stuff about him. I don't know why it's not like that one. That one had all the stats that I pulled out. Look at this really nice art. This seems more like a Forgotten Realms style art. Alright, looking at the next batch, there's a lot here, guys. Look at this, we're 13 minutes in, and we're not even through half of these, so I'm going to have to try and start speeding up a bit. So, this looks like a vampire. She's got a knight thing, though. Yeah, she's a vampire. This card's upside down. Let's turn right side up. Flop them over. Oh. And they're upside down, because, of course, they are. She looks like an angel. 7th level warrior. So this has everything. Box is not organized, obviously, because it's used. Like I said, picked it up at the thrift shop. Very much liking, though, everything about it. It's so super cool. So it says they're just trading cards, but like it's a giant box. I think they have some re-releases of this that you could pick up too. They have like some gold outlines. They also made newer ones for some of the newer sets and everything like that. But everyone keeps giving me 2.0 stuff. I also find it all the time at the thrift shops. I'll be there. And, you know, at the thrift shop, it's, like, super cheap. Like, online, these books are really expensive. If I went to Amazon or eBay, right, these books are, like, a lot of money. And super collectible. And I just walk in, they're at the thrift shop. Depending on which thrift shop you go to, like, it's the same chain. Like, the Value Villages call different things in some cities. But the Value Village brand, in one area of town... They consider it like stereotypical, like a teen thing to do, and so they sell it at a kid's book price because they assume it's mostly teens. And then when you go to the other end, they're like, no, this is like super rich people game, and they like max out each book at $5. Like, admittedly, some of these books are still holding values of $30 or more now. Like, I've seen some there like $54 or whatever that they've had there, and like, yeah, when it's like that, but sometimes like it's not, like they always have not the collectible ones, the South store in the good end of town, and they always charge a stupid premium, where if you go to like the other end of town, it's like they sell them all for kids books or magazines. So they're like, oh yeah, it's nice, but it's outdated, so we'll give you a good price. And that's just kind of how a huge chunk of my collection has grown. I mean, you know, why pay full price for a game? I mean, a lot of these are in like new condition. And honestly, when you buy things used like that, it's less bad on the environment, you could tell people. Like, I know some areas it used to be considered like not cool or whatever to like buy used, because they're like, oh, you should be able to buy brand new. But, you know, like, they're different nowadays, right? It's so much different. I realize that they've simplified the game also to bring a lot more people in. And honestly, switching between like 2.0 to 3.5 and different things, sometimes I forget some of the fine-tune things, or when you swap over to 4.0 and you're going to do something that you're supposed to do in the other ones, and you don't do it anymore because they, again, like, I understand why they simplified it. I think it's a good reason, because like back in the day there wasn't as many, like, there was a lot of hobbies, but you know what I mean, like nowadays everyone has like 5 hobbies that you're swapping between constantly, right? Because, like, you know, one of your friends likes D&D, your other friend likes Warhammer, your other friend likes Magic, right? You have to swap between these and stay somewhat relevant on each of the rules. And so if you don't play after a while, because you've been hanging out more, so, you know, your friend's schedule changes at work, so your friend that plays this instead of that is the friend that you're hanging out with more. And even though, you know, you very much like the game, your friend doesn't. And D&D is an incredibly social game. So are all the games that I play, really. Like Magic and playing like Warhammer and all that. Of course, now with the virus going around. By the way, this is 3 weeks into where my city has like almost completely shut down. I'm doing this in comparison. Like, I got this like a few weeks beforehand when there was like, you know, 1 case in Canada, and we're like, it's gonna be like SARS, nothing bad's gonna happen. And then like it kept spreading, and we're like, okay, well, yeah, there's reason to panic now. Well, not panic, but be cautious. So yeah, and so I hope the content that I'm putting out helps you guys with this. A lot of it has been made. I usually do, when I film, I actually do like a bunch of filming that particular day. I get everything set up. Whatever like gifts I've been given, or things I've picked up at different, you know, sometimes the dollar stores have overstock and they have something that should not be in a dollar store, and I'll pick that up. Or maybe I lucked out like this time with a fine, and that's what I'm doing for my box openings. I try to do it all in one big go. And then after that, because like the thing is, you're not going to want to see like, I don't know, 5 videos pop up in a day, for one thing. There's still a huge backlog. And and for another thing, because I'm so busy, I can't always go out to find things to unbox or whatever. So I try and do everything, you know, at once, and then plop them out so they come out weekly, because otherwise it's like subscriber burnout, and you'll be like, oh, I don't want this much in my feed in one day, get it off. So gotta stick to that, because otherwise it's like the algorithm's harassing you, and I don't even know what else to say about that. Also, if I didn't do it that way, there might be like months and months and months where there's nothing. Because this is not my full-time thing. I mean, it kind of is now with everything being shut down. But, you know, I have a day job, and I also have other things that, you know, like I gotta look into or plan for upcoming episodes. And this is getting very long. We're already at 20 minutes. Like, I know you're supposed to be 15 to whatever, and sometimes it really likes the long videos. But we will see. We are going to try and go at a faster pace to try and... Oh, this one's upside down. So, anyways, how is your... Like, I know it's not actually quarantine for us unless you're sick, but it really feels like quarantine for us. But how is it going, you know? Are you online seeing your friends a lot, you know? Like, I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves with my friends to stay sane for my socialization. Since, you know, I'm not really able to go out and play Warhammer. They straight up said don't come. And, of course, there's the joke of, but Papa Nurgle wants us to. But, you know... I probably should suggest to people to play Dawn of War or something online, and then we could still kind of get our Warhammer in. But yeah, mostly Sea of Thieves. Maybe I should have broke this box up into 2 parts. It's just still going. Still going. Like, I love all this, but I'm not going through it very fast. At all. But I've been very fortunate with what I've been finding for materials for the people I play with. So, they've been very happy about all the different stuff I've brought and how I, you know, do it with a drama background. And by the way, asthma with my coughing here, so I'm completely fine. If any of you are about to go type in the bottom there, perhaps you already have and you've run away fearing that this video will contaminate you with asthma. Or allergy asthma, but whatever. But you could see, like, it's all across the different... Like, you could see the games up top, like we looked at before, but... Even while going through these, you could see these are like the certain sets or blocks or whatever. Before there was DLC, kids, and things came out afterwards. I'm kidding, but not kidding at the same time. When it comes to this stuff, it's really nice to see the variety, and I kind of miss, like, things just get made and kind of dropped nowadays. So it's really nice to see, like, the passion and how much work went into this stuff back then in comparison to, like, nowadays. Like, I have absolutely no issues with things being made for profit. The issue is it being feel like it's made for profit, if that makes any sense. You know? Like, that's supposed to be an invisible part of whatever you purchase, so... Lots of monsters and items in here. As you can see, there's a bunch in the background that we're going to go through. Feel free to pause and look at whatever you desire in here. A few of these, it looks like they've been remade. So, there's that. Like, because I have on here, may not have seen it, but I did another box opening video of one of the contemporary ones. Again, I was going to do a Christmas D&D thing with my friends. It was going to be broadcasted on the group channel. We didn't end up getting around to that, but that's okay. We still had a ton of fun. It's just, I know some of them want to do it in costumes, and some don't. And then, you know, it's still being debated all the way up, and then it just doesn't get recorded. And I know my equipment's not good with group recordings, because I've done that before, because my friend makes board games for a living, right? And so obviously you want to show off your friend's new game, And these feel really soap, like sudsy. Like, I think someone wiped these down with soap. Like, it's not the waxy feel of the cards being waxy, but like someone has gone through and wiped them down to make sure that they're nice and clean. Should probably move my hands over here so you can read them better as I go through. There is still a fair amount. We are halfway through the stack, but there is still a lot here to go through. And I want to make sure we get through one whole box of these. You could slow down the video, though, I suppose, on the side there, if I'm going a bit too fast. So what is your favorite D&D set? Do you like the newer ones? Do you dislike that it's been simplified? Do you think that it's great because more of your friends are willing to play with you now? Do you like the modern art? Do you like the old art? I kind of like it because, like, looking at a lot of these, like, you could clearly tell, like, it was pencil crayons or, you know, different things like that. Or you can see the watercolors and... Like, I have nothing against digital art at all, but I do enjoy being able to tell, like, what media it is when you take a closer look at these. Wizards of the Coast now, who own D&D, is, like, a huge contributor to, like, art now, and I wouldn't be surprised if when we're all dead, Wizards of the Coast is going to live on, not maybe as a company, but, you know, like when Renaissance paintings or whatever, we study it, and how the church was a huge contributor to all the, like, arts from back in the day. Like, I think it's going to be kind of like that, where, like, things like games companies and whatever are going to be looked at as huge patrons of the art. So, huge. I definitely think that'll be, like, how in the future it will be remembered when it comes to this stuff. And then when it comes to ignoring new and old, but, like, what's your favorite, like, block or sub-universe? Because, like, a lot of these are sub-universes. The newer ones, they kind of are, like, all blocked together, it seems like. So maybe, like, the intermingling. There's a merman. That's cool. Yeah, you know, like for example, what was it? Forgotten Realms is where tieflings come from, and, like, tieflings are super mainstay now. Like, everyone I know, like, my one friend, she was D&D, and they made this rule where, because everyone kept being tieflings and they're tired of everyone being a tiefling, they're like, okay, no one can be a tiefling because otherwise everyone's a tiefling. It's not fair if just, like, one person gets to be a tiefling when everyone wants to be a tiefling. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe you have a favorite block because, like, it focused more heavily on something. Maybe you like the newer ones because they're all, like, just mixed together. And then, so the D&D's become a universe, and just because you like the universe, you might not necessarily play D&D. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you are screaming heresy at the moment, but still, things exist that way. So is D&D, like, the actual pen and paper form? Is that your favorite way? Or do you like, I don't know, the book adventures that you can get? Do you like the video games? PC games, I really see the same as video games, but for some reason, people think PC games are separate. So, is it specifically PC games? Like, back before I existed, there's those gold ones that you could pick up. The gold set PC games. I'm pretty sure, like, those were early 80s, right? So, yeah. Do you like the newer ones, like MMO style? I played the MMO with my friends a bunch before they had the Neverwinter, and then I played Neverwinter a bunch with my friend, but then he ended up on at different times, so I moved games. with me, when it comes to MMOs, I usually just stick to where my friends are because I like MMOs, but it's the people that make the MMO. It's not really the game. It's not like if you buy a single player game, you bought it for the game, right? In an MMO, you're hanging out because, like, you know, that's where your friends are. It's like coffee shops, you know? Yeah, sure, you go to the coffee shop because you enjoy the coffee shop, but you're definitely going to pick one coffee shop over the other coffee shop because your friend's there. Wow, that's pretty. So, like, I played Warframe for a bit, but then, my friends were, like, max level, and, like, some of the missions I couldn't do, like, not the single-player ones, but I guess, like, there wasn't really anything for them to do, so at that point, like, I swapped games, and then, like I said, Neverwinter, my friends were on there, but then they, like, swapped time, so they weren't on there. Mainly, it was just Ragnarok I played. That's the MMO I mainly played. I played that for a long time. Like, I've played other MMOs, but just, it's not the same. Ragnarok was definitely my favorite. Original Ragnarok. I did buy one of their single-player games. It was hyped up. My friends were telling me, oh yeah, Ragnarok Studio, they went and made the single-player game. I did not like it. I think other people liked it. I saw it on Mel Jesus' Hidden Gems before, so I guess other people liked it. I didn't. I don't even remember the name. Every time I see the cover, though. Oh man, she looks just like the chick that's in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Now that is my all-time favorite PC game. Second would be Age of Empires, but Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Like, I've played the newer ones. There's a little bit of soul gone from them. I don't know. They became, like, the fantasy style was really strong in fantasy back then. And then now when you do it, it's like whatever's hip, and it's like, like, I have nothing wrong with things changing up, but, like, can we do fantasy for fantasy sometimes? So, like, the art's just, I don't know. I don't like the art as much in some of the newer ones. I think it was 4 or 5 I played. And then there was one where the art was, like, hyper computerized, but, like, they still tried to kind of make it, like, look like it was, like, traditional type stuff. But then the gameplay for the Necromancer campaign was terrible. Just terrible. It was so fun, and unless you were doing, like, the missions. And I like going through the story campaigns and then doing my own thing. And, like, I didn't like it. Like, I liked the other stuff about it, but it's never going to be 3. Like, I played 2, and 2 was really good as well, but the graphics just weren't that good. Like, they tried. I also played the original one. Again, pretty good, but I just wish with, like, the upgraded graphics, you know, you could have that, like, really solid feeling game. Like, 1, 2, and 3 were amazing. Very good games. 1 and 2, like, the quality, you know, like, there's some, like, well, they're on older systems, so they weren't great. And the art, you know, was still good and all that. But, yeah. I don't know. What's your favorite Heroes of Might and Magic? Even though we're looking at D&D cards, and some of you may have never played that game, and just looking at me like I have 3 heads, but, you know, this is a thing. Alright, we're getting down to the last little bit of cards. Finally. I mean, like, it's awesome using it, that I have this big storage, but going through with you guys, like, I knew this was going to be a long video. I probably just should have started faster at the beginning, so that I could have tried to keep it down to a nice size. And, of course, because I'm opening this for the first time, I don't know where everything is, so, like, it's not even... What I could have done is I could have split it up into the sets, like how there's Forgotten Realms, there's, like, Dragonlance and all that, and, like, separated them, and then been like, okay, so, like, we're going through the Dragonlance portion of this box first, and the whatever, because, like, you as a gamer might not want all of these anyways in your set, and you might only be looking for certain ones to use in your campaign. And then, so hindsight, as I'm filming this, that's what I should have done. Because that would have been an actual, like, I don't like breaking up the bales and being like, 1, 2, and 3. But if I would have said, like, trading cards, blah, 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 this, like, universe in the box versus this universe in the box type thing, like, that actually would have been a proper way to organize it. Without being, like, really annoying, like, part 1, part 2, part 3. And then we could have got through everything in a better manner. I could have spent more time with each of the cards for you. Last stack, guys. Last stack. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps. More subscribers means that someone might pick up a video and sponsor me. Sponsored videos means that I can, like, pick up more expensive things. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a game that's like $500 that you're just like, I don't know, is this $500 game worth it? And I can't buy it because I don't have $500 to spend on the game. But if I get sponsored, you know, I could get like a $500 game and be like, yeah, this game's worth it. Or, no, this game's not worth it. You know? Or, you know, maybe I could find like a cheaper alternative to that game that you're interested in. So, you know, things like that are opened up with the channel if I can get more subscribers. Because then they know, like, more eyes are on the content in here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe. Twitch is Roadkill Candy. On Instagram, I'm Queen Roadkill. And then that's... yeah, please like and subscribe. I'll do a partial opening of Mutant Chronicles Collection Miniatures game. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for watching. Box opening of this.